Many people will tell you that a man is only as good as his wife that's with him. Everybody judges a man by his wife. A lot of times. Like, if you have a wife and your household's together, then you've got everything together. Right? Mm-hmm. I may have everything together, but that doesn't mean my household's together. Because I can't control nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so for the past 2.5 years or so, my wife has constantly been on this parade of constantly removing herself from me. I don't know why. Asked several times. We've been in therapy for the past 6 months. A professional therapist, paying them every month. I mean, he says the same thing that I've said over the. I'm not putting out any diagnoses or anything like that. But what I know is that the devil is real, and that he will try to take every single thing he can from you to get you to run away from Christ. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. And Wanda is a woman of God. And I use that as air quotes. I asked my wife, I said, Wanda, I don't hit you. I don't curse you. I may cuss at you, but I don't curse you. I may fight with you. I don't hit you. I don't cheat on you. I don't do drugs. I work. I pay bills. What is wrong? What is wrong? Nothing. Crickets. Crickets. I keep asking people that over and over again. Everybody I meet. Am I a perfect man? No. I've yelled. I've screamed. I've thrown myself on the floor and beat my head on the floor because I was so pissed off. You know, trying to understand why my wife doesn't respect me as a man should. Just straight up. And this all happened 2 years ago. So something changed. But when was that, though?
That was during, like, the COVID, didn't it?
Right before COVID. I said life was better right before COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something shifted.
2018.
Something shifted, Joe. Something shifted. And so many people are not where they used to be. Yeah. Not just my wife. I know a lot of people that they're shifted. They're different. Not a bad thing. They're just different. Just not a bad thing that my wife is this way. It's just different. What's bad is how she treats me in the meantime of all this. You know. So I pray and I ask everybody to pray for me and her so we can get back on track, or pray just for God's will to be done, whatever that may be. You know. But I've talked to a lot of my guy friends. I've talked to other married couples. At the end of the day, God is not going to allow you to stay in a situation that's going to cause you to sin. That's straight up. And so, like, if you get married and your husband's abusing you emotionally, physically, God doesn't want you to stay in there because you're going to eventually sin. So we have to put it out there that no matter what, God's sovereign will shall be done. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how I have pictured this big plan and this big thing that, you know, me and my wife would have this great life together. The world is way stronger here. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like the lust of the eyes and the things of the flesh. I could get on here and tell you all the things about my wife. I don't want to, and I'm not going to. But this is why I'm telling you this, is because men need to have this space to say, look, my marriage is falling apart.
Yeah.
As a Christian man, just sheerly as a Christian man, not as a pastor, not as anybody, just sheerly as a Christian man, we need to be able to come and say, my freaking marriage is on the shambles, and this is why. Because I live with a narcissistic woman. My wife has turned into a narcissistic woman. All about herself. No accountability. Nothing.
Yeah.
None.
That's what I've seen as a common trend of no accountability at all for a lot of women
Mm-hmm.
at all. Nothing.
And it's only happened 2 years ago. And here's what's crazy: during that time, she got tight knit with this group of females that were all about, you know, women power, women power, women power. Their husbands were the lesser, you know. And she probably was like, well, why can't my husband be that way? So she probably went on this whole, I don't know what she went on, but I'm not worried about what she did or didn't go on or anything like that. And like I said, I don't put this out there for my wife to be belittled or anything like that. But if we don't, as men, that's what I've said before. If we don't, as men, begin to talk about what we're going through, that's why we have veteran suicide. That's why we have so many.
Yeah, that is 100% real. It's so hard to. I think that's what fears a lot of people that are younger, growing up, especially guys that are growing up. So people like my age, 24. I know I look like I'm 37, like Abraham here.
Mm-hmm.
But
thanks, son.
Yeah. But that's why I came to him, and I was asking him, you know, what is the true meaning? Like, do we need to have, like, if you're going to get married, like, is there needing to be all this extra stuff at all? And that's the reason why I came to him, because I thought of that, and other people came to him as well at the same time. And it's because of situations like this that make it unpredictable. And unpredictable, there's a risk. And when you take a risk, taking a risk, great sometimes in business, like, or in life, take the risk. If you have nothing else to lose, take the risk. Go. Send it, right? Full send. Like, with my job. He's like, you want to do this? I got nothing else. Heck yeah. Hire me up. You know, I'll go. And
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. And so sometimes those risks is like, you don't know much about this company, whatever, but I'm going to send it. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, let's do it. Cool. And then you find out later on. But anyway, in situations like this, especially in our society here, where there's a lot of shit that is just, whether, like what he's saying, that's being talked down or the lesser or whatever, and all this entitlement, and women haven't been humbled, and that's where a lot of that needs to happen. Like, seriously, like, it's people that may come off as very mean, but it's like a lot of men get humbled with a lot of different things, because there's a lot that's put on a man's shoulders, especially biblically, when you go that route. And even beyond biblically, just general world, you know. Let's say you're not a believer or whatever. Even in that realm, there's still a lot of weight that's on the shoulders of a man. That's just how it is. But as we go forward, women aren't being humbled in any way, shape, or form, or held accountable. So it makes us, the younger generation, and seeing this, and when we talk about it, really think 3 or 4 times before actually now pursuing. So that's why you're starting to see guys like, well, why don't they want to date? Well, why don't we want to do this? Why don't guys? And then they get mad about it, and then they'll say, oh, men ain't shit, and this, that, and everything else. But it's, you have to take accountability for your own actions and look inward. None of y'all look inward. None of y'all. Not one. Maybe there's some out there. Cool. Good for you. But that's something I learned really years ago, probably 2017, around in that time frame, maybe 2016. And guess who I was working with still at that time? This man behind the camera right there. And that's where I learned some of that, where you kind of look inward and look at, like, okay, what are you doing wrong, you know? And a few different demonstrations from people I worked with, because they also had that mindset of, like, okay, taking a situation, looking at both sides, unbiased, looking at what I caused, looking at what she caused, and going forth. I had people that I worked with that we went on lunch break, and this one guy named Travis, he was like, yeah, me, and it was his fiance, like, yeah, we got into a fight. Well, if I didn't do this, she probably wouldn't have said that, and then I wouldn't have gotten mad, and we probably should have just did that. And he's just talking to himself, but he's taking an unbiased, not like, that freaking, that she should have, and getting all fired up. Well, I think on the flip side, I don't think a lot of women do that. I think
don't.
They just blame immediately what it is. You know, this is the problem, this is the problem, this is the problem, and it's
Let me tell you this morning.
Yeah.
This morning. It's we're in an argument this morning. I'm called a stalker because 4 days ago I looked up where my wife was just to make sure she was safe. So now I'm a stalker.
And
please make that make sense.
So
then when I go to her and say, please make that make sense, how am I a stalker? Because I want to make sure you're okay. And I'm like, you watch all this SVU stuff.
Yeah.
And you see what a stalker is, and you're saying that that's what I am. Or there's something wrong with you.
That's
you understand what I'm saying? Like, you're literally calling me out of my character. Why?
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong? Like, why are you literally trying to demonize the man that I am?
Yeah. That's another thing that with watching these crime shows, I know so many chicks that watch the SVU or Criminal Minds, the NCIS. Good shows, great, but it makes them all freaking paranoid that someone's out to kill them. That's all. Or something crazy is about to go down. And the other thing is, I would take that same situation. Okay, let's say I'm dating someone. I have my location on. She has hers on. And I'm running around, going to the gym, coming here. And then I get a text. Why are you at that random house? What are you doing at the house? Oh, this is my buddy DJ's. Wouldn't that consider her being stalkerish, trying to find out my location?
I wouldn't say so.
No, but what I'm saying is if you flip it, you flip it and you do it, then you're a damn hypocrite at the same time. So,
I mean, I was in an argument this morning with her, and it's like she literally picked a purpose to have an argument with me today, so she did not have to feel like she needed to be around me. Mm-hmm. And it's a common thread. Like here lately, she will pick an argument just so she doesn't have to be around me. Mm-hmm. And the arguments are crazy. Like I said this morning, I'm called a stalker, and I'm like, and if I was to go to some of my other friends that I talk to in the mall and stuff like this, and I've told them, I've put it all out there. And I told some of my friends, one of my cousins yesterday, I saw her in Kroger and told them, their face drops because they don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, why would this woman go out of her way to demonize the man that you are? Either I'm totally jacked up, okay, or there's something else wrong. But Tommy, as you come up,
have you ever? You don't. That's not bad, but you don't think it's like a jealousy thing or whatever?
I think it's jealousy.
Okay.
I think there's some jealousy mixed up in that because no matter what has happened in my life, I still keep going. I still keep going. I still keep making moves. Like this past winter.
Why would you want to tear that down either? That's what I'm saying.
Like, we are in a situation where my wife has not ever tried anything that I said, hey, let's make this marriage work. Let's make this marriage work. It's always been my idea comes to the table. It's tear it down immediately why it won't work instead of just trying it. And this morning I was like, yo, what is it that I got to do to get the reward that I'm seeking?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not a simp for that or anything like that. As a businessman, I'm like, what do I got to do to get this reward?
Yeah.
I've done that for years now. And she'll put up a standard, and then it's not the same standard that she said that it was supposed to be. It's.
Sounds like almost like what the people are doing at the mall to you. Remember we were talking about that a couple weeks ago with the integrity. Like, okay, lay it out, show me what to do, and then you come back and change the original plan.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, you showed me what to do, so I have to. I need to stop downing gallons of water at the gym. It's always good. Drink your water, please. Don't go dehydrated. If it's yellow, drink more water. And I will be right back. I am so sorry for you guys on the radio. I have to go relieve myself real quick.
We'll go to a commercial break.
We'll go to a commercial break. Perfect.
Hi, my name is Ruth Ario, My name is Nayoski.
My name is Oluwatimi Lakimson.
My name is Olushola Eileen.
I am Paul Tao El Shaddai.
I'm DJ Virgin.
And I represent the movement.
And I represent the Movement Ministries.
And I represent the Movement Ministries.
And I'm a part of the Movement Ministries.
I represent the Movement Ministries.
And I'm a proud member of the Movement Ministries. The Movement Ministries is a ministry that sets their vision and goals to preach the gospel across the nations.
We are a ministry that put forward the word of God, and we move forward into the greatness of the Lord, moving you ahead and moving you upward.
Trust me, we are doing this through For Christ Radio.
Listen to us through our radio station
on www.radioforchrist.com.
radioforchrist.com. And I know you will know the truth about God. You will know the truth about yourself.
You can also follow us on our social media handles, and you shall be blessed.
Will you go?
So will you go?
Will you go?
A good tree does not bear bad fruit.
You can't hide from God. God is literally everywhere. He is with you wherever you go.
Father, in the name of Jesus, we just come into your presence today, Father. We come boldly.
And so then it's a lot far more common for the broken homes and stuff like that to happen, and that's what scares us, because we don't want to be put in a situation that's just doomed to fail or will eventually fail. Like, okay, what you're saying started off great, something snapped, now it's bad, and that's my own fear, because that's the reason why we talk about, or why I've talked about prenups and stuff like that, if they're even effective. If they're not, then then it just makes the percentage of wanting to do and go through with that even lower, or go overseas and pick somebody up that is already from nothing. So then,
that's exactly. So we have been on mute for, I don't know, 3-4 minutes. I don't know how long, but
what do you mean on?
Because we had the commercial. You went out.
Oh yeah.
So I say all this for everybody, not for people to judge or pass judgment on Wanda or anything like that.
Yeah.
I say this for the men. Like right now, I'm standing in a situation where, like I said, I've been told, if you would just do this, you're the head of the house, so the head of the house has to lead. Well, I can't make somebody follow me. I can't do it. There's no way in the world. I have a 17-year-old daughter, Ariana, when she wanted to move back with her mom. That's my kid. I still couldn't do what I wanted her to do. There was nothing that I could actually do to say, you're going to make sure that you do what I say.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because the way they've built this country up and the way society is now. Yeah.
And if I did anything outside of just being, all right, I'm going to jail for kidnapping. Let me tell you something. And I share this with you guys because it's real. Things like this do happen. But I want everybody to know that this is how the devil is. I know that I am under spiritual attack all day long, every single day of my life, because I'm doing what God wants me to do. Peep this. Do you remember I was telling you a few months ago about this girl named Ashley?
Yeah.
That was going to come work for the movement. She's not coming to work for the movement for several reasons. But during this time of trying to interview her, I talk with her and get to know her, I set boundaries as a man because I'm a married man, right? Me and Wanda had talked about what cheating looks like and this, that, and the other. And so I got to know this woman over time because we worked together. So I talk to her while I'm at work 4 or 5 hours at a time to get to know her, right? Text her things like how you're beautiful. These things, some of these things that I just naturally do on a regular basis. Like if I saw a beautiful woman, even in front of my wife, it's not something that's not in my character to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not out of my character to do these things. Well,